outstanding for today's standards. For 4 consecutive Olympiads, which was through 164 through 152 BC, he won 3 races, which was the spade race, the dialis race, and the armor race. He won a total of 12 Olympic victories. He was acclaimed as a hero by his compatriots. Another event held by the Olympic Games were horse racing. Horse racing was very dangerous and it could get very brutal and bloody. Each participant would get a horse and race around the track. The ground was so rough and hard that when the riders were thrown to the ground, they would usually die since it was really rough. So I wouldn't recommend it here in the United States. Well, we do recommend. Another most known athlete is Milan Azpilcueta. Milan was one of the most famous athletes of antiquity. He came from the Greek city of Crotone in southern Italy. He was 6 times Olympic wrestling champion. He first won in 540 BC the youth wrestling event and then 5 times in the men's wrestling. This is also a unique achievement even in today's competition context. He also won 7 times in the Pythian Games, 9 times in the Nemean Games, and 10 times in the Isthmian Games, and multiple times in many small competitions. The 67th Olympiad, which was in 512 BC, the 7th attempt for the champion, he lost to a younger athlete. There are many accounts of his achievements, which are very well known. The ancient Greeks believed that a strong body pleased the gods. Boys were taught sporting skills to help them become fit soldiers in their adult life. They honored the gods with sporting events and contests. The Olympics began as a festival to honor Zeus. This honored Zeus because they would sacrifice a person for him, and this was very important in the ancient Greek culture. And another most known athlete is Melanchthus of Caria. Melanchthus of Caria was crowned Olympic boxing champion in 49 BC and was a winner in many other events. He went down in history for the way in which he fought. His movements were light, simple, yet still crucial to the other opponents. He would defeat his opponents without ever being hit himself, nor ever dealing a blow. He was reputed to fight for 2 days holding his arms out without ever lowering them. He was able to stay in such good shape with doing extreme exercise and with hard work and dedication. The discus throw was set out to be one of the 5 events of the pentathlon. It was originally made from stones and later on to bronze or lead or iron, but now here it's set up to be like rubbery. The right-handed thrower brought his left foot forward, shifted his weight mainly to his right foot. With his right hand, he swung the discus a few times back and forth. Then he slightly turned his body with the movement of the swing. After his last preliminary swing, he moved his weight on to his left foot, and with a powerful swing, he threw away that discus. And that is how you throw a discus. If you don't want to try discus, that's the correct way to use it. One of the other events was pancration. This was a form of martial arts with a combination of wrestling and boxing. It was considered to be one of the most toughest sports. Greeks believed that it was founded by Theseus. Chariot racing. Each team of participants got one chariot and would race against other teams. To win the event, they had to cross the finish line first without crashing. There were 2 to 4 horses per chariot with so many cars on the track, and there was at least 1 crash per race. Many people would get killed during this event. It was very dangerous. Most known athletes. Caniska of Sparta. Caniska, daughter of King Archidamus of Sparta, was the first woman to be listed as an Olympic victor in antiquity. Her chariot won in the 4-horse chariot race in the 96th and 7th Olympiads, 396 BC and 392 BC respectively. In the Olympic Games, it was forbidden for women to be present, and Candace broke with tradition since in the equestrian events, the victory wreath, or codinos, was won by the owner, not the rider of the horse. The Athletes Award. Ancient athletes who would participate in the Olympics were given a reward or prize, which was usually a substantial amount of money. The word athlete is an ancient Greek word that means one who competes for a prize, and was related to two other Greek words, athlos meaning contest and athlon meaning prize. When they were held, the Olympic Games were held during summer, were also so that good celebration on the third. It's the third night because the moon up the sky and they don't have lights. Electricity wasn't found yet. Women participation. Along with the athletic contest held at Olympia, there was a separate festival in honor of Hera, the wife of Zeus. The festival included foot races for unmarried girls. Although it is not known how old the festival was, it may have been almost as old as the festival for boys and men. And for the 8 minutes that you have had, we have presented all the Olympic Games and all that good information. So here is a king getting a reward from a different king. Or not a king, maybe a master.